at Regency, South Africa, for having spread his valuable time to join us today. Despite the fact that we are working in different time zones, Sir was kind enough to accept our invitation and join us today, all the way from Johannesburg, South Africa. An entrepreneur by design and an educator by passion, having extensive experience in corporate as well as research fields. Sir has 35 years industrial experience, entrepreneurship, pharmaceutical and medical instruments, and industrial consultancy, with over 15 years teaching experience in the area of marketing, ethics, entrepreneurship, innovation, service marketing, consumer behavior, and leadership. Sir has acquired his PhD in experience management and currently a diversity management trainer for a multinational corporation. His contribution as a researcher with academic demands, bridging the gaps for training students. Now hand over the session to Mr. Nishikant Bohra, sir. So over to you.
Thank you, Vedika, and thank you everybody from Sasmira and NBA. One small request, can we, when I tell you, you need to stop recording for maybe a brief 5 minutes. So, but I'll tell you so. All right. And I hope I can share my screen. So I assume I can share my screen.
Yes.
Can you guys see my screen, a very cluttered one? Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Oh, all right. And so welcome to everybody from Sasmira participants and NBA. I understand the theme is more about sustainability, but things are moving much faster than the sustainability perspective alone. So I would actually focus what the future focus is, which is called ESG, environmental, sustainable, and governance issue. Everybody has started clubbing them together rather than actually in isolation. These are my coordinates. You can contact me if you feel like, if you have a query or something. My Indian WhatsApp number is still valid. All right. So you can contact me on my WhatsApp as well. All right. Let's move further. This is a beautiful quote, none other than by Plato. Good people do not need laws. In fact, if I believe appropriately, it's always 0.01% people for whom the law is actually created for. And even though we would create law for bad people, they would usually find a way around the laws, mostly because world over we know for sure that a law is usually on the power side or the might side, which is a bad thing to do, but I think that's what the reality is. All right. What you see on this screen is a distance between Saharanpur and Gangotri, which is cruise distance is 200 kilometers, but a driving distance could be 308 to 348 kilometers. What's great about it? Can somebody tell me? All of you are possibly assuming that all of you are from India. What is great about Saharanpur and Gangotri, guys? Can somebody assist me with that? Anyone? Please raise your hand and come on board. Vedika, can you assist me if somebody has raised their hand or somebody would like to respond?
I can't see any hand.
I'll wait till one hand pops up.
Participants, please do participate.
No one yet, as yet? Amey, go ahead, please.
Sir, is it a holy pilgrimage site of Hindus, Saharanpur?
Saharanpur is a pilgrimage site for Hindus, or Gangotri is a pilgrimage site.
Sir, Gangotri is, I guess, pilgrimage site.
Great, thanks. The interesting, thanks Amey for participating at least. Let's move further. Can we stop recording for another 5 minutes or so? Who's recording? Please stop recording. Thanks. All right. This is what people saw. Few more minutes, please bear with me. Yeah, thank you, Vedika. You can start the recording, please. Even a man of Karl Marx stature has been talking about, and these days we have started talking sustainability as a branch of intergenerational ethics. So the fact remains that who owns this world? we as Homo erectus or Homo sapiens, or this world belongs to every one of us, including animals, hills, environment. Whose earth is this? And we saw things happening just because for Corona, we were required to stay at home. Things suddenly started looking good for the planet as such. So bigger aspect is good ethics is just a good business sense. And this none other than the lady who started, which, can somebody name me? It was Anita Roddick who stated this, and Anita Roddick started a very big, I'm just forgetting the name of the company right now, Body Shop, sorry. So she always believed, and she started it some 20, 25 years ago, then eventually she sold it to L'Oreal, but she was always keen on somebody bringing their old packets of creams or something, so that she need not to buy, invest in packaging. And that was her perspective. Eventually she made some $6 billion and sold it to L'Oreal. And that's a different ball game. But let's talk about it. What's wrong with this, or what is good about this? This picture on your screen, please. Participants, raise your hands and come on board, please. Waiting. Raise your hand, please. We have less than 1 hour and we are already up on 15 minutes. Raise your hands, please.
Sir, may I?
Go ahead, Dr. Priya.
So, why is the president coolest monkey in the jungle on a t-shirt?
I'm asking you.
So that's a wrong message.
Why it is wrong?
So first thing, I believe a child has been represented in this advertisement.
Yeah.
It's the message itself is a bit offensive, specifically calling a child a monkey.
Okay. So
that's my perception.
We have a small kid, Dr. Priya.
Yes, sir.
What do you do when that kid is jumping on your sofa?
I ask him to stop doing it, or I just say don't behave like don't behave like that. Don't behave like a monkey. I won't say that. Don't behave like that, or he won't do it.
Okay, so the perspective here is, I think there is one other hand there. Can Vedika, please, can you assist me with whose hand is up?
Yes.
Megha, please go ahead.
Sir, I mean, it's just my opinion. Is this related to racism? With the fact that, especially in racist countries and all, they are referred to as, primates and as monkeys or something of that sort, because I've heard of this somewhere before. So just
your spot on. Is there a prize, Vedika, for somebody getting it right? So Megha deserves a prize, at least in terms of applaud.
Thank you.
You see, the cultures are very, very specific, and they have way of doing things, and we all have our own soft spots. and this was a H&M advertisement put in South Africa, and which led to multiple things. It was actually a PR disaster. Although they H&M was claiming, look, we are portraying in similar light a white kid as well, but that was too little and too late. So the perspective what I'm trying to do here is raising a question, and it all started with these two gentlemen. Which are these two gentlemen? Ralph Nader and Milton Friedman. Milton Friedman said in early 1970s, that business of a business is business. I don't know how many of you can, I just spoke English, so I don't know whether I'm making sense. Milton Friedman said, business of business is business. While Ralph Nader was of different opinion. Ralph Nader, during Milton Friedman's time, a little late, I think 7-8 years later than Milton Friedman said, he said, we live in an ecosystem and we need to take care of the ecosystem because if you don't take care of the ecosystem, you would perish. And what you see is the biggest hole that we had created in South Africa, and for bringing out the carbon, which every girl or every lady would love to have it on as a engagement ring or a marriage ring, called diamond. But diamond is doing so much harm to environment. All right. This is Joburg, where I am stationed. It is Africa's biggest square mile, most expensive square mile that we talk about. And it all came to its prominence largely because of, in late 18th century, people were able to find gold there and we were digging the gold. What's wrong with digging gold, guys? Can somebody assist me? What's wrong with digging for gold? Anybody from chemistry side? Or at least we all read something about chemistry, chelating in our 10th or 12th standard. Can somebody assist me with that? Amay, go ahead, please.
Sir, after the gold is mined from the particular region, the land becomes completely useless because it cannot be cultivated again. And because of mining, there can be like environment hazards as well.
I wish I could have said that you are spot on. You are very close, but not close enough. Anybody else? Somebody would like to try what Amaya said? So this is not true for the simplest reason that the biggest man-made forest exists in Johannesburg. So if you say that, you can't cultivate, I don't know about that cultivation, but we have the biggest man-made forest in any country or any city for that matter. Can somebody assist more than what Amaya is saying? Go ahead, Sridhar. Siddharth, sorry.
Yeah, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Like my view is like we should not like do mining of gold. Like what I feel is that if you remove gold, so that there won't be an equal ecosystem balance. Like other elements like mercury and cyanide, their proportion will increase, and that is hazardous to your ecosystem. As this, I feel. So there should be a balance. Like whatever the resources, whatever the metals are there, should be. They might be neutralizing others.
Siddharth, is it Siddharth?
Yeah.
Siddharth. Vedika, keep noting down. There are prizes that you need to distribute later. Siddharth also deserves one of them. Interestingly enough, for entire Johannesburg, we can't tap to the groundwater. because we had polluted the groundwater with lead, arsenic, and cyanide in order to extract gold. And interestingly, who's talking now? World's biggest importer of gold. India imports around 900 tons of gold from Ghana, countries like Ghana and South Africa. So anytime you are wearing the gold, I must actually curse you for not permitting me to get to my groundwater. And that's the angle. That's the ecosystem we are talking about. So what is Carroll in 1979 gave business for responsibility. Ethical and discretionary is called social responsibility. Legal we have to do, otherwise we'll go to jail. Economic we need to do, or we must do, otherwise there is no reason why an enterprise should exist. But this is largely discretionary, and that is where the biggest problem is, because it is discretionary. We later on started talking about triple bottom line, where we said, no, just profit is not enough. We need to think about people, the quality of life that they are going to actually experience, because we are running our business. And planet, we need to retain it viable, and we are custodians of Mother Earth for the next generation. And that is the sweet spot between bearable, equitable, and viable is sustainable. These days, we have also started talking about quadruple bottom line, where we have added purpose to it, the fourth P to triple bottom line or quadruple bottom line. And those are perspectives that we need to be taking care of anytime we are doing a business. All right. What has moved? The new concept that we talk about is share value, which is nothing but our purpose, business purpose, or sustainability aspect to a little extent. But what is the focus of business right now is taking care of these three. Environmental sustainability and governance issue, which is called ESG, shared value, which is all about purpose, and corporate social investment. Collectively, we need to take care of all these three things when we are talking business. That's the perspective, the newest perspective. According to PricewaterhouseCoopers, we need to actually we must get into strategic reinvention. What must we do? What should we do? What could we do? All those strategic invention perspective. I am not from accounting side, but I assume now we are talking about in reporting to our stakeholder. We are talking about 6 capitals, and that has become more and more mandatory to talk about these 6 capitals. I'm not expanding on 6 capital. Somebody from accounting side or auditing side would know that. And business transformation, which is all about getting into digital transformation, and that's where I would be focusing. But before I do that, Chipotle is a Mexican grill which actually gives pork. Invariably, if you are eating pork, you are killing an animal. So what is your problem if you say, give them the space? Can somebody assist me? Like free range chicken. Hey, you are still killing the chicken. Pork, give them space. What is this going on, guys? Pause for 2 minutes before and wait for somebody to raise their hand. Can you decipher it for me? Give them space. I'm cutting the piglet or pig, making them into carnitas. Carnitas, which is nothing but carnita is a shredded and well-cooked pork, and Chipotle sells it. All right. Can somebody come on board and speak? Waiting. Why do you have to give space to pigs? Anybody?
May I try?
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
You haven't
Just
raised
by
your
giving.
hand.
So I'll do that. Yeah.
Go ahead, Viral.
Yeah. Yeah. So giving them space. I mean, they just added a metaphor. They were like, give them their living space. Just don't go and just butcher animals and consume for the sake of eating or just for the sake of your own luxury. I mean, just let them be and you know not get into their habitat and just
Viral, you
disturb.
seems to be a vegetarian.
I am.
So let's hear it from somebody else as well. You were very close, but not close enough. There is another hand. Can Vedika, can you assist me? Or is it Megha?
Yeah, Megha.
Hello.
Go ahead, please. Who's next?
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so if I mean, according to my perspective, I think pigs generally live in an environment where they need mud to grow. I mean, they roll around and
You're
those kind
guessing.
of open places.
Megha, you're
Yeah, I'm
guessing.
actually guessing. Because with respect to KFC and all, I have heard that chickens are actually bred.
You
But
are
if
meat
we,
eater, Megha Nair.
yes, sir, yes, I'm a non-vegetarian.
So you are still going to kill the pig, right? So what? How does it matter whether the pig had the space or not?
And now, okay, that I am a little.
There is nothing wrong.
After all, it's
not to be
it's like
ashamed of. It is
I mean, we
somebody's
all
food.
are. I mean, not we all, but some of us are meat eating people. So, I mean, at least for me, it doesn't hurt my conscience. I'm very sorry.
Okay, go ahead. Let me ask you another question, Megha.
Yes.
You are a meat eater, but do you know which meat is less toxic to the planet?
No, sir, because I'm actually only a chicken and fish eater, basically.
So chicken is better, but not as good as possibly a goat. Goat consumes the least water in term when you per kilogram of production of meat. So even when you're choosing, if you're a meat eater, when you're choosing which meat to eat, I think if you are a millennial, and I assume you're a millennial.
Yeah.
So if you are a true millennial, you would next time take care. Siddharth, go ahead, please.
Yeah, sir. So my views are like on your question that why do pigs need space? So I feel like every animal, like if like I had a fish tank once a few years back. So the fish owner used to say me that if you want your fish to grow, then increase the size of the fish tank because they become more destructive. And same thing goes with animals. Like if you can have a look with the other goats, even like cows, they need space more and more as they grow up. So pigs are also like they are like destructive. They are like the fighter kind of thing. So in order to grow them, they might need space.
So your approach is basically not purpose driven, but your approach is profit driven because it will make them big.
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right. So that's where possibly. Are you employed, Siddharth?
No, sir. I'm currently a fresher.
Change your opinion, otherwise you'll find it difficult to get a job in the future.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Okay.
So jokes apart, this is how they are doing. They are doing fantastically, and they say, sorry, no carnitas, because we can't ensure that our pigs are raised in responsible farming. There was another hand, somebody. I'm sorry, I missed your hand. Sanjay, go ahead, please.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, please.
As far as I think, giving space means uh, in this subject means not giving them any attention, letting them be in their
Sanjay, you're
habitat.
guessing. Sanjay, you're guessing. The point is that even though you are going to kill them and eat them, before you kill them and eat them for your purpose or your advantage. At least let them live peacefully. Give them a space in the sense that they should not be encaged in closed compartments. So this resulted good on Triptyl because it assisted them creating a trust. It assisted them creating sustainability points in the minds of their loyal customers. And it was a good exercise that they did. I do not have a clarity whether Chiptal is as sincere as they had actually said so. There is another hand by somebody. Can you go ahead, please, and speak?
Tanvi?
Hello. Yes, sir. So we should give space to pigs, and pigs mostly live in forests. So according to me, we should not cut the forest and grow more forest by in majority ways we cut the forest and make buildings and all. So we should not do all that and grow more trees for animals, pigs and all.
Actually, what you're saying, I wish that was true. In fact, in order to give space to it, what you intend to say, give them a space, would actually kill more jungles, actually. Because in order to feed the animals, we need not more jungles, but places where we can create the more grazeland. And that would actually mean no more forest, please. And that's a big debate that's going on. So Tanvi, I can't, unfortunately, but you have my WhatsApp number and we can always discuss about it. Pravritti, go ahead, please. Quick one.
Yeah, yes, sir. Sir, 2 days before there was a YouTube suggestion where not in India but in foreign the bacon and all is very prominent. So there was a video that there was minimal space over there, and all the pigs were being brought into some machines or so that their proper cutting can be done. So I saw that there was minimal space of walking of the pigs, like they were gushing into each other, and so
Why
I
should
think
they
that
walk? Pravarti, why should they walk? If you are just profit-centric, if they walk, they are going to burn calories. They will need more feed rather than, let them be idle so that they can grow more fat in themselves and more meat in themselves. So why give them a space? Because financially it doesn't make sense. But can we continue to operate on finance side? That's the big question. Pravarti?
Okay. No, sir, that I have seen in that I thought that
No.
space could be
If
related that.
we have industrialized even growing of cattle, growing of eggs, and a beef is a big meat world over. So you need to go and see how is it possible to call it inhuman conditions. We usually call that, but human can't live. So why do we subject so many other animals to be in those spaces? But that's not the point of discussion. It actually assisted Chiptal. So I'm not expanding on what is in capitalistic economy, what is the importance of profit. But what I'm trying to say is that we need to take care of the planet. We must also take care of the people. That includes customer, employees, and community members, and purpose also. And that's how many companies can come out with this kind of an advertisement. Patagonia did. Don't buy this jacket if you have got one that can actually be repaired. And they called it Common Thread Initiative. So they say, why should we have more clothes, actually speaking? Is it environmentally sustainable to have more clothes? Why do we need 5 jackets? And those are big questions. Another important repair is radical alternative, and that's what Patagonia is talking about. Same. And then there are some companies that are actually greenwashing. I don't know how many of you know about a concept called greenwashing. So John West Tuna has been talking that, we want healthy oceans, and they put a WWF logo sometime in 2006. And they said, we are involved in sustainable fishing. But then the Greenpeace came out with a report. which said John West tuna, which is actually using only sustainable fishing, they are using to only to the 2%. And they came out with Tesco, Asda, Morrison. And when they came out with this perspective, because unsustainable fishing can actually kill multiple animals as well in the sea. And they said John West tuna has got blood around it. So rather buy, if you have to buy, then you buy a Waitrose tuna, or because Waitrose tuna is involved in sustainable fishing, and sustainable fishing is defined by when you use hook rather than net to pick the fish. And then Tesco removed John West from their shelves. So the consequences are high. At the same time, if you're not sustainable, consequence can be very high to your organization. But if you're sustainable or you follow ESG, there is around 15% your market capitalization premium existing only on the basis of ethics alone. We are not talking the positive impact sustainability and governance would have on your market cap. All right. Any questions so far? We are on 38 minutes of the discussion. This is what I'm going to focus. So I don't think we would be able to reach to engaging and diversity perspective, but we would actually talk about remote working right now and remote teams. What's wrong with, or what do you see on the screen? Raise of hand fast. Yeah, Siddharth, and then Viral.
I see maintenance of the car, service of the car being done.
All right. Viral?
To me, it would, for a change of fact, it would be a guy, fixing brakes on the car. It could be a manufacturing line, and the guy is working on installing brakes. And the guy is working on installing brakes.
Manufacturing line, and I think both of you are correct on this part. Do you see this model? Do you know this model? This is Ford Ranger, Bakkie, that we so famously call in South Africa. We call them Bakkies because we can use the back end space for doing any farm work or something. What's great about this vehicle? Can somebody assist me with it?
Sir, it's a Ford F-150, so it has an amazing loading capacity.
No, it is Ford Ranger, not what you're mentioning, unless they are selling that brand with the same different name in India. The point I'm trying to say, how much of the welding do you think requires for a vehicle like Ford Ranger? I want you to guess, please. Quick guesses.
Sir, to be generic, it would be a lot of welding, in my opinion, because
lot of love doesn't make sense to me. Lot of welding doesn't make sense unless you can be specific in numbers. Give me a guessing number. I love you a lot. Doesn't make sense.
It should be in thousands, like tens of thousands of welding points.
Tens of thousands of welding in meters? How much? Or kilometers?
Not in meters, spots, in the tens of thousands of spots.
So you're wrong. Actually, Ford Ranger actually uses 85 kilometers of welding there. In one car, 85 kilometers of welding. And that is the reason why most of these resistance seam welding can't be done by humans. It's all entire job has gone to robots. So interestingly, welcome to the reality check, guys. 69% of the existing jobs would be lost soon because robots are coming and they are taking up artificial intelligence, and robots are going to pick up all the jobs. Although this would take only 47% of jobs in US because they are already automated. All right. So now let's focus on future world of work, where we need to understand, and this is what actually is happening, that 8 in 10 American adults, which has seen pandemic, has actually been reporting stress. And there are various other issues that are coming into force. So what is the reality today? We have started work from anywhere. So you can work from Kruger National Park, you can work from Ranthambore Safari, and that's the new world. What is augmenting that? All remote or majority remote organization. And that's a perspective shared by multiple, in fact, four CEOs of the world. And very recently, in November alone, everybody seems to be doing well, and profit, performance is doing well. That is Ms. Brown's opinion, who works as a CEO for Upwork. You all know Sundar Pichoi. My apologies for spelling error on Pichoi and Google. He's saying that we are working on some borrowed time, because largely, if you are working through remote, you are actually clinging on to your past memories of relationship with your existing colleagues or your clients. And that connection had possibly assisted us in, coming out of the COVID, but we still need that connection to be reestablished. CEO of PricewaterhouseCoopers is of the opinion there are thousands of employees, and thousands of employees would require thousands of flexibility hours and flexibility options, and millennials are driving that change. The biggest challenge, according to Ms. Owen of Miller-Knoll, is that when you are working in an office space, people can gauge your emotions, people can gauge your troubles, and people can assist you. But if you're working from remote, nobody can gauge it. And hence we would be possibly creating more stress, more orphans, and that's a perspective. What is happening in the world? There are certain activities only humans can do, like we can lead, we can empathize, we can create, we can judge. There are certain activities which only machines can do it better, such as transaction, like we do it ATM, iterate, like if you're doing a experiment, they can iterate, machines can iterate the process very fast. They can predict, they can adapt. But then comes the missing middle, and that's where the future jobs are going to be. Places where human complements the machine with help. And which are those areas? Train, explain, sustain. Artificial intelligence and machine learning would actually amplify us as human beings. It will amplify our ability to interact, and it will assist us in embody the perspective that we may have. So human and machine hybrid activities, these activities, remember, these activities are possibly the future activities where you will get your jobs. So that's where you need to concentrate. Okay. How much automation would happen? This is economist. So food preparation would get almost 70%, automated. And interestingly, I'm in a right job. Teaching would actually has got very less scope of automation amongst all that. We have seen this stress coming all the time when we have started actually making iron to steam power, to electricity, to petrochemical, to digital network, to now more on the sixth wave. Every time one wave was coming, everybody was worried about the job loss. But the fact remains that every time this new thing came, we have to innovate and we have to become more knowledgeable worker. So the fact remains that if you want to do something with your hands, no, you are going to be redundant. So what you need to learn, go to Coursera, go to other places and learn about coding, whatever you are doing. If you have to remain relevant 20 years from now, you need to get into the coding. You need to get into the data analytics and all these perspectives. Okay. What is going to be a new world of work? It has already started bearing fruit for most of us because we had seen during the COVID time. But again, we can't go so fast. The reason is simple, because we have a digital divide. The digital divide is primarily, because of maybe in some countries, the 4G is not relevant because they are already operating on 5G. But in certain areas, you can't get a proper signal to even connect with somebody over a phone. So it's not going to happen so fast. Hybrid, new work is going to be hybrid. It is going to be the new norm. Some people would work 1 to 2 days, and some people would work 4 to 5 days. That's the form. Schedule issues, if you are working in different time zones, there would always be schedule issues, and uncertainty would always remain. That would put people into lots and lots of stress. And this is, I have picked up from Adam Bryant, May 2021, Strategy Plus Business. That's a magazine. Over these last few months, we have seen a monumental shift, work from home. Business leaders are convinced about productivity gains that they have achieved, but the various other perspective. Employees has got different perspective. Employees has got a different perspective on working from home is concerned. What is going to happen here? Where companies are going to invest more, they are actually creating tools for virtual collaboration, enhancing their IT infrastructure, and those perspectives. Training managers, these are the three most important perspectives where companies are concentrating on. What is the digital scenario of the world? Total population is 77.8 billion people. 56% of us are urbanized. Phone penetration is up to 5 billion. Internet user is around 5 billion. Social media user are 4 billion. Those are the perspective. What is happening on the labor conditions? It's getting stable, in fact, declining. Productivity is increasing, but the hourly compensation is reducing or remaining plateau. Productivity during this COVID time as well has been as increasing, and performance has also been increasing. But before I go to that, what is the scenario happening? February 2020, 5% of the people in US were working from home. At the peak of it, 60% started working. Even now, when we are in normal situation, 40% of the people are still working from home. That's the scenario we are talking about. So working from home, it is not Spider-Man. It is actually Voltaire who said, with great powers come great responsibility. And when you work from home, when you work from other than office, you need to take care of the productivity. So if your organization is giving you power to work from home, you need to act very responsibly. What is happening on working from home, or called remote teams or digital nomads? They can work from anywhere, and this is nobody else but most of the people attending or participating this conference. It's a fancy term used for millennials. They love their own free space, and they earn money through different causes: blogging, training, e-product, internet, e-commerce, webinar, etc. They are not ready to settle or adjust or sacrifice. They want to have flexibility of working hours because they feel it's their world. Definition wise, It was given by Lipnack and Stamps in 2008. The teams that works across space-time organizational boundary with help of IT technology can be called nomads of today. Remote work refers to a job that is done outside of the office. There are various categories of how you do it. Some people do it office-based alone. Some people do it partially office-based, but sometimes work from home. A remote team in a single time zone, somebody working in Mumbai, somebody working in possibly Trivandrum, somebody working in place like Uti, all these teams, worldwide remote teams spread across numerous time zones, and a fully distributed team with nomadic team members from anywhere in the world. These are the perspective. These are the HBR perspective on work arrangement in terms of place and time. And this is what exactly I was talking about. Performance has not decreased during the pandemic. How still we are feeling it? We are afraid of the spread of COVID. 53% of us afraid to go to work for the risk of exposure. Believe work life will be disrupted by coronavirus. 45% of us. 67% are still checking COVID news every day. 45% of business were worried about losing productivity, but now that percentage of worried employers are down to around 15% because productivity didn't come down. All right. 2020, millennials are 35%, but by 2025, the percentage would be 75%. What are the 4 pillars of working as a nomad? Set clear expectation. This is Dudarajya from India. Making available the tool and resources to the team members, appreciating feedback to employees. Don't be always micromanaging them. Building and supporting teams. What are the paradoxes of working from home? Remote team requires also physical presence because you need to be visible only. That's what Sundar Pichai was talking about. Flexibility of distant working is aided by structure. If your structure doesn't support it, you won't be able to do it. So what comes first, egg or hen? Interdependent work is accomplished by members, independent contribution. So interdependence is important. Independence is also important. Task-oriented distant teams succeed through social interaction. Mistrust can also be a paradoxical term. How to reduce stress in this situation? Largely, these are the symptoms that you would come across when you're working from, and it is going to be stressful, I can tell you. These are some of the coping strategy: exercise, working from home, go take stairs, exercise, relaxation exercise, 4-3-2, meditation, self-control, cognitive therapy, networking. All right. Don't indulge in too many substances. Another technique which is called raincoat and towel technique. Try not to hurt yourself with rain. Don't soak yourself by wearing a raincoat. And if you are drenched, use towel. That's how we need to approach this stress. Thank you very much. We still have around 4 minutes open for question and answers. Vedika, over to you. You can steer if there are queries.
Yes, sir. So participants, you can ask questions. Sir is there. Please feel free and to ask questions.
Sir, as you said, you are in
Raise your hand,
Johannesburg.
please. These are the basic working from home basics. You would raise your hand before speaking. Nabil, go ahead, please.
Yeah, sir. So, as you said, you are from Johannesburg. You are currently in Johannesburg. So, can you explain briefly that how you are affected by water shortage in Africa? I mean, I have heard that there is acute water shortage going on there.
We were to get to a 0 day when there would be no municipal supply, Nabil, but that was in 2018, and that was only case of Cape Town. That was the reality, and municipal body was able to give us around 15 liters of water every day because we had not timely invested in gray water. I don't know whether you understand gray water. Why do we need normal fresh water to flush our toilets? Why can't we use seawater to do that? Or why can't we use used water? And that's what is called gray water. But that was the case for only one specific province, that was Cape Town in South African context. Remember, Africa as a continent requires more water. But right now there is no big issue right now because remember we can't use groundwater from in Johannesburg, but we have a kind of a collaboration with a nearby nation, which is a hilly nation called Lesotho, and the entire water that comes to Johannesburg comes from Lesotho. I don't know whether it makes sense, but how long we can do that? We need to actually get to the basic, like, I don't know how many of you had gone to old Havelis of Jaipur and Shekhawati, where they have been rain harvesting for last 400 years or so. So it rains in Rajasthan only 20 times a year. And in 20 days rain, they could harvest good enough rain if you have got that rain harvesting arrangement in your old house, then it can sustain 12-14 people for entire year. And so you don't have a water shortage in terms of potable or drinking water. Does it make sense, Nabil?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other question?
Do we have any other questions, participants? Yeah, so Viral is there.
Go ahead, Viral.
Yeah, sir. So, like, you stay in Johannesburg and you have seen the world a lot. You have prevailed in the market. You have seen both the countries, how things work and everything. What, according to you, is done in India? It is practiced in India, but it is not up to the mark. And like in any aspect, in economical or else sustainable market or else in any aspect, what according to you would you recommend? Like they have a good thought, the execution is where they lack, or else the execution, the processes in execution, they need a little more work. Like what according to you would you recommend?
I would not get trapped into us versus them, because there are wrong people in India and there are wrong people in South Africa as well. So that's not us versus that. But as collective cultural perspective, I'm very proud of the fact. Viral, can you respond to me? Why do we have a housewarming that begins with a yagna?
It is, I guess, to bring in good faith, good positive energy in the house, and it is more of a trend in India to
That's all
start
rubbish
something.
that we have been told by the media for a long time. The reality is that we ask for forgiveness because we have captured the land which belong to animals. So actually it is a Paschatap Yagya that we are doing. So
this was completely new, I guess.
This is a Paschatap Yagya we are doing because that land that we have captured could have been able to feed, say, 5,000 ants, 200 birds, and multiple animal species. So we have captured their land, so we must ask their forgiveness. And for that, so they must not give us a sharpam so that, we can live blissfully. So we ask their forgiveness. And that's why we do that yagna. And that's a perspective. So like, it was British media and later on Indian independent media that was talking nonsense. They were influenced by British thought process. They used to say that we were savage and we were nature worshippers. So what's wrong in nature worship? We talk about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, where we assume everybody has got a responsibility towards the entire world. So we respect people because it is the highest oxygenator the world has ever found. And all those ritualistic things which were not explained to us because the media was talking rubbish, what was their white masters were telling us to do. And that thing has not changed over 75 years of our independence. So even South Africa originally was nature worshipper, but then the white people came and things changed. So I don't know, us versus them, but it's more about going to your back roots. It's relevant. You go to Oswald, I don't know how many of you know the Oswald communities. And if you go to Oswald priest, they have been wearing the mask forever in their life. And there are multiple times when we are being told you're not supposed to touch. I don't know how many times you have been scolded by your parents telling you not to touch your nose, not to touch your mouth with your fingers, and don't to lick your fingers unless you have washed your hands. And that is relevant even during COVID time. I don't know, Viral, I am able to respond to you. Quick one, Shweta, Ame, and Siddharth.
Hello, sir.
Go ahead, Shweta.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So my question was that you've mentioned greenwashing, and I've also seen, like recently I saw a video where many brands were seen doing the same exact thing, like they were greenwashing and they were putting it up as how they are concerned about the environment, but in reality they weren't, and they were still continuing with all their normal routine of how they actually were doing their production line, and they have not brought any changes as far the environment is concerned. So can you elaborate more on this part, please?
I agree fully to you that most of these corporations are still greenwashing. They are not doing anything substantial. For example, everybody is saying, like, including Tesla is saying, like, we are producing electrical vehicles which are less polluting. Are they really less polluting? Because in India, we are dependent on coal for our electricity. So you are going to charge your electrical vehicle. If you are going to charge your electrical vehicle, it might not be in your city that you are actually, creating the fumes, but you are creating fumes somewhere deep down the grid because somebody is burning the coal there. So that's a greenwashing actually. So is electrical vehicle sustainable? No, it is not. Is electric vehicle more sustainable than a petrol vehicle? Yes, it is. I don't know whether I am able to answer you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Go ahead, Ame.
Hello, sir. My question was to you. The recent summit happened about the COP26, about the environment. So my question is, how are we supposed to find business opportunities? Because most of our dependencies on coal or oil imports only.
Have you heard about Brahma Kumaris, Ame?
Yes, it's in Mount Abu.
Okay. So Brahma Kumaris has been doing this fantastic job. I have no connection what they are doing religiously or philosophically. But what they have been doing is they have been actually giving carbon credits to so many big corporations. So like, I know I can't do anything positive towards the environment, but can I assist somebody who's doing positive and can show on my balance sheet that I have a carbon zero or closer to carbon zero, impact on the earth. And they, Brahm Kumaris has been getting money because they had put in solar panels and all those more sustainable perspective some 35 years ago. So they have been making good money. I have no inclination and no comment to make on their philosophy or their religious beliefs. Siddharth?
Yes, sir. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, go ahead, Siddharth.
You had mentioned about the automation and that's gonna replace jobs in the market. So my question was, will automation affect entertainment industry?
My brother-in-law works in entertainment industry and I have a very, very little contact with him. I don't know that answer to that.
All right, because that was my interest. So
I have no clue. He made the Patal Lok, but I have no clue how it's going to affect. This is like World Cup match between Pakistan and India. You bowled me on first ball. I don't know. I have no answer to that. I have not researched, so I can't comment.
okay, sir. Okay. As that entertainment industry is my field of interest, so that was my question.
I have no clue. The only connection I have with entertainment industry is that I am related to that gentleman with marriage to my wife. That's it.
Okay, sir.
And we don't talk entertainment whenever we meet.
No problem.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Vedika, I think we are 9 minutes up. So take your call.
Yes, sir. So it was a pleasure to hear to your precious knowledge that you shared with all of us. I think everyone could relate to the practical examples that you shared with us. And I think students were really interested also because there were a lot of questions that they asked you at the end. And we do have few messages also in the chat box. Dr. Priya is also saying it was wonderful session and informative session. And of course, it was. I think everybody could relate to sustainability like this, that it's not just theoretical things, but yes, in practical life also we can implement sustainability in our day-to-day life. So it was wonderful session. So thank you so much to take your time for the session and join us for this conference.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
All the best. Anybody has got any queries, questions, feel free to put it on my WhatsApp number. I'll be happy to respond. Thank you. God bless you. Do take care of yourself.
Thank you so much, sir.